Today we're going to make some really very simple cranberry sauce. We're going to start by adding 4 cups of frozen cranberries. Now don't worry about fresh, frozen works perfectly fine. To that we are going to add a cup of orange juice, a tablespoon of orange zest, and a half cup of water. We're going to stir and bring this mixture on medium heat to a boil. Once it's achieved a boil, you're going to reduce the heat, cover it, and let it simmer for about 8 minutes, stirring it occasionally to prevent sticking. So we've come up to a full boil. We've got our lid on, we're at a simmer, and we've got the timer going for 8 minutes. Every now and then you're going to hear little popping noises. That's just the cranberry skin popping open. Don't worry and think that your heat's on too high. Like I said, every now and then you're going to stir it occasionally, checking in on things. You will start to see the cranberries start to almost dissolve and fall apart. So now that our timer has gone off and the 8 minutes are up, we are going to add in our 5 cups of sugar. I'm keeping it on low heat here, so you're still on a simmer until the sugar fully dissolves. You don't want to burn your sugar. And at this point, this is when you can choose to either kick it up a bit with a little bit of spice, which is what I'm doing here. You could add in some chopped up walnuts, or you could leave it just as it is with the ingredients we've done so far. So right now I'm going to add in a full jalapeno. I've seeded mine. You don't have to if you like a little bit spicier. But the way that I'm adding a little kick to this is I'm adding our kitchen client Damien's hot sauce, Lima Zulu. It has a really nice lime flavor. And I'm only putting in about a 1/4 teaspoon. So we're going to give this a nice full stir till all of the sugar is fully dissolved. And then we're going to bring that heat up to a medium high and bring this up to a full rolling boil. Now a rolling boil, the difference between a regular boil and a rolling boil is the rolling boil, when you stir it, you can't get the boil to disappear. So I've been stirring this constantly, and we're starting to come up to a bit of a boil. And right about now is when I like to check in with a spoon just to see where we're at with the thickening of the cranberry jam. The drops are starting to get a little bit lazier, and we know we're getting close to adding pectin, which will thicken this up really nicely. So we're now at the point where our product is at a full rolling boil, and this is where we're going to add our 1 3-ounce package of liquid pectin. Now it's important, if the recipe calls for liquid pectin, to use liquid pectin and not powdered pectin. They are not interchangeable. So we are going to add in our pectin. And we're going to continue to stir this until it returns back up to that full rolling boil. Then we're going to time it for 1 minute and then just shut it off. Or remove it from the heat, depending on what type of stove you're working on. So our product has boiled now for a minute. I've just turned off the heat. And now I just want to show you the difference in the drops. So if you take a look now, you can see how kind of lazy those drops are. How they're falling really slowly off the spoon. The back of the spoon is nicely coated. We're going to achieve a really nice set. So all that's left now is to fill our jars. We let the product sit for about 5 minutes, stirring it occasionally. And now we're going to fill our jars, leaving about a 1/4 inch of headspace. You generally get about 6 250 ml jars from a batch. And that is it. Wipe your rims, lid them, and put it in the hot water bath for 10 minutes.